Well, I want to just sort of repeat what my colleague here, Mr. Teaberry, said. There is a lot of confusion, and I think that this hearing is a forum where we can get some of those answers, hopefully. And so we appreciate your attendance here, and we do have some legitimate questions. And is just sitting here and listening to some of the testimony and some of the exchanges, it's obvious to me that even you're confused about what the law says or doesn't say, what you've accomplished or haven't accomplished or may accomplish, or what some of your deadlines are. Your answers aren't clear, and I think everybody in the audience and people on the panel and people at home watching can see that. So, Mr. Wolf, I want to start out with have just some questions that are yes or no questions. Have you been able to implement Section 9003, which increases taxes by limiting health savings account expenditures?
I'll have to get back to you on that question.
I think you have been. Have you been able to implement Section 9004, increasing taxes on distributions from HHS and MASAs not used for qualified medical expenses?
Again, I'll have to get back to you on the answer to that
And
question.
I think that's a yes. Have you been able to implement Section 9005, increasing taxes by limiting health flexible spending arrangements under cafeteria plans?
Again, I will get you that information.
I think that's a yes. Have you implemented Section 9007, putting additional requirements on charitable hospitals?
Again, I will get you that answer.
And that's a yes. Have you implemented Section 9008, increasing taxes on branded prescription pharmaceutical manufacturers and importers?
I believe we have implemented that, yes.
Yes. Have you implemented Section 9009, which increases the medical device tax?
Yes.
Yes. Are you on track to implement Section 9010, which imposes a tax on health insurance providers?
I will get back to you on that
And that's a
question.
yes. Have
We're
you
generally
implemented-
on track with all of our major deliverables.
Have you implemented Section 9013, raising taxes on those who have to take an itemized deduction on medical expenses?
Again, I believe we're on track with all.
Probably a yes. So you're on track with all of these. Some of these you couldn't answer, but I have information that these are all yeses, that you've completed implementing these tax laws. I'm disappointed that the supposed benefits of this law haven't been seen by my constituents, and I think that's a frustrating part, not only frustrating but confusing. I'm not sure if they'll ever be seen by my constituents, and so I find it sort of odd, too, that the employees at the IRS, including yourself, because you just made this statement, you feel like you have good health insurance. You'd like to keep that health insurance. So would the IRS employees. So would a lot of other Americans across this country. But one of the health benefits, one of the benefits in this health law was supposedly that we could keep our health care plan if we liked it, or we could keep our doctor if we liked our doctor. But according to the president, and I'll paraphrase a quote that we heard him say at a conference he attended and spoke, was that, you know, there seems to be some language snuck into the health care law that runs contrary to that premise. Runs contrary to the premise of you can keep your doctor if you like your doctor, and it runs contrary to the premise that you can keep your health care plan if you like it. But IRS agents supposedly now have filed a waiver because they can't keep their health care plan if they like it. They have to ask for a waiver. Well, you know, I know of a lot of Americans that would want to ask for a waiver. So it's deeply disappointing that the only part of this bill that you've been able to implement are the provisions that have cost Americans and will cost Americans in their pocketbook. Mr. Cohen, I'm really confused by your testimony about testing of Data Hub. You'll get back to us on an answer? Is that what I heard you say? You're testing, right?
Yes, we are testing.
What's the testing? I want to know what the be is.
The testing is all aspects of the system that are going to be needed to be operational on October 1st.
What have you done?
Are being tested.
What have you done? When you say testing, what do you mean? What have you done? What's the test?
So I'm a layperson. I'm not an IT person. So I'm going to give you the layperson's answer. They test the systems to make sure they're functioning as they're meant to. They put in they run different scenarios to see whether.
You think you're on track?
We absolutely are.
Well, in fact, less than 2 weeks ago, insurers warned that both they and your department, quote, face significant operational and logistical challenges in the first 2 years at a minimum, which are dependent in large part on a variety of technical interfaces, data exchanges, and program infrastructure. I think you're in trouble. I don't think you're going to meet your deadline, and I yield back.